Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to do a beached theme nails. That was something I haven't tried before, but I just wanted to get into my creative space, so I sat down and I just went for it. With these nails I've already buffed and just put the base coat on, so I'm gonna go in, and in this video I'm gonna use all the Venalisa mud gels. So I'm just getting the cream, this light blue here, and then I'm going to go in and with a darker blue and just try to make like the waves. So the light color is like the sand and this is the water. And water I find has multiple tones to it, so I definitely want to get that in this nail. And here I'm just drawing on in the 3 different sections. I'm going to do the cream, the light blue, and then I'm gonna mix the dark blue with the white just to get kind of a softer. The dark blue is just a little bit too dark. But I also want to show you in this video 3 different techniques to ombre. Now you can use the sponge, which I was just showing you. I personally feel like if you're using the sponge with these mud gels, it gives it a very light blend. Like, I feel like it does take a lot of the product off, so I'm not overly liking that, but I did want to show you guys this method, and I also will show you how to do it with an ombre brush. In the end, I really like actually just going in and blending it with my brush. It's just a regular brush. It's just, I think from the textures and stuff that I was trying to get from the water to the sand, that just worked better for me in this design. When you're satisfied with your blend, you want to be sure to go in and cure it so you can layer it up and get the different texture and colors and the depth for color. So I've already cured this, so I'm going to go back in with just another layered product, just laying a little bit more so I just kind of see the color a little bit more in depth. So here I'm just going to go back in with some more color and just blend. I find with this design that I'm doing, I am going back and forth a little bit on it, and I just feel because I want a lot of texture and I really want this to look realistic, but I also don't want the nail to be too thick and lumpy because I am using, for what I'm already using, a mud gel, which is a thicker consistency. And there's a lot going on with the layers, so I want to be sure to have it still thin enough, but also the texture come through, if that makes sense. So I am taking my time with the blending and kind of trying to get it to lay as flat as I can. So once you are satisfied with how your water is looking, the base of your water is looking, and it's all blended, you should have put that in a lamp and cure it. And then we're also going to go over with the top coat after it is cured, just to seal everything in. So here I have some of the white mud gel, and I'm just going to mix that with a top coat. And the reason I'm doing that is I just really wanted to actually be thinner, and for this technique that I'm going to do, I'm going to use the bubble solution, and I'm going to basically, it's kind of going to put little indents and little like holy type of things. It's going to give it a really good texture. So I want this to put for my waves, as waves like crash upon shore. They kind of have like that look. I don't know, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about, but you'll see in a few minutes. With this technique, guys, you're going to want to make sure that your polish or paint, whatever you're using, is a little bit thicker. You're going to want something for the bubbles to, when it dries, to seep into to give it that texture. So once you are satisfied with how the layout you have of your wave, you want to go in, do not cure it. Before you cure it, you want to go put your bubble solution on top of it, and all you're going to do is put it in the lamp with the bubble solution on top and cure it. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to do that one more time on this nail. So I do this wave technique on 3 of the nails, and then I also add it to 2 of the other nails, but not like this design. I kind of mix them and just do it for really just more of the aesthetic concept of it. I do want to just add in something, guys. After you cure your nail with the bubble solution, make sure you wipe off your nail thoroughly, because it's gonna leave a soapy wet residue. And so I zoomed in here, guys, so you guys can kind of get a look at what the finished product looks like. It's just such a neat technique that it brings. I love it. Okay, now so the pointer and the ring finger, I'm just going to use this beautiful light brown color, and I'm just going to paint them fully with that. So now that they're cured and top coated, I've mixed the light blue, the dark blue, and the white. I'll just put them in a line, and I kind of scooped them up. I was actually trying to do this like almost like the marble technique. It did not turn out very well. And to be honest, I really think it's because of the brush that I tried to do this with. I actually tried to do it with like, it's kind of an art brush. You can actually make flowers and stuff with it. I don't know. I thought maybe that the bristles of that would work well. It really didn't. Trial and error though. I really liked how it did turn out in like the overall part of it though. So before I cure, I'm just looking at it to make sure that it flows and that I like it. Now that I know that I like it, I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to do the bubble technique on these 2 nails as well. It's so fun using the bubble technique. I don't know, I feel like I'm just more playing with the bubbles sometimes before I'm putting it on the nail, which you should just drop it on the nail, but it still turned out nice. Everything is all nice and cured. I'm going to go in with the top coat. Now with the top coat, because I have this nail textured, I recommend you going in and taking off a lot of the top coat where the textured part of the nail is, and you will see me do that. And it's just because what's happening when I put the top coat over that, and if I were just to leave it, it's actually going to cover up the texture because the top coat's going to fill in all those little divots. And I don't want that. I want the texture to show. I want it to look like the waves are crashing on the sand. And so I do go in with the brush and just dab into all of the textured area. So it will still get covered with top coat. It'll still seal it, but it just won't pull in around it. So now that they're all said and done, they need some bling. So I'm gonna go in and add, I have this little seashell cluster that I got from Ali. I'm gonna add one of them. And then I have these other little, what are they? Little stars, little shells, like starfish, sorry, and shells. So I'm gonna add a few of them on as well. So now that I've gone through and I've picked out the few little charms that I would like, I'm going to go in with the Born Pretty Solid Tip Gel. And I'm going to use that to adhere my big rhinestone. With that, I just want to put it like on the waves, kind of like it washed upon shore. So that's what I'm going to do with that big cluster. So here I'm just going to go in and rough up a little bit of that area. Because of the top coat, you're going to want to do that. I've done it without it and it does stay, but I do recommend that you actually rough it up a little bit. It just will actually let it adhere a lot better. So with this particular charm, there's actually a hole in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just stick my brush inside the hole and I'm going to push the gel around it. So I kind of, as I put it on there as well, I kind of made like a donut with the gel, and then I'm just going to adhere it around it. Now right here you see there's quite a bit of a lip. I'm going to want to fill that with gel, because if not, as soon as this thing gets caught, it will tear off. Now, because of this nail I'm not going to be wearing it, I didn't have to do it, but I did want to show you the right way to do it, so I'm just going to show you how you should do it. So I'm going to stick some gel in there and I'm going to push it in until I can't see the gel anymore. Now if you do still see some gel, just go ahead and take that gel off. We just added just a bit too much. So now I'm just going to add this little seahorse, and I'm just going to use top coat to adhere this, and then I'm going to be sure to go around all the edges. Now you can use a glue. To me, it doesn't really overly make a difference for something so small. Top coat will hold that as well. But what you're going to want to make sure you do is go around and seal it. I personally, for these little charms, I don't like going over top of them. It just diminishes the look of it, and that is just my opinion. So I will take my top coat and I will go around all the edges and push it up and seal it in, rather than going right over the top coat, or right over the charm, sorry, with the top coat. So now I'm just going to put, I did use glue for this one. I think I brought out the Venalisa glue somewhere at some point, to put little stars and stuff on. Now guys, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I turned the camera to pause it to grab like charms, like these little crystals, and I put on. I don't know what I did. I'm so sorry. I must not have hit the camera back on, because I didn't record me putting on these rhinestones, and I do put them on a couple of the nails. Don't worry, I'm not going nowhere. There'll be plenty of videos with me and how I put rhinestones on, so there will be some coming, but I do apologize. I don't know what happened. It's not in this video. Yeah, so I come here and I realize, because this is so textured on like this little water that washed up on this little land here, I'm going to call this nail, I do end up going to put the Venalisa glue. I use that instead of the top coat. I think it's a bit thicker, so it will actually hold these little guys a bit better. So now that I've grabbed the Venalisa glue, I'm going to put on the little starfish and I think just some shells. Like I said, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but here's what they look like. I absolutely love them. I think they're super, super cute. I'm just admiring my work. And like I said, I just haven't been doing a lot of artwork, and I'm so glad I took this time for myself to be creative. It is so important, and it reminds me of why I love doing nails. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, make sure you guys subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye!